Hello, hello, this is Aloha to you from Hawaii Preppers Network. This evening I'm here to show you how I'm starting a couple seedlings. I know it's about that time and almost that time for quite a few of us gardeners to start our seeds, but here's another option. Um, what I did was I used the toilet paper rolls when they become empty. Instead of discarding them, I use them, I utilize them and recycle. I cut them in half and I fill them up with the seed starter soil. And I put them in a box. It can be any size box you want to put them in. And I line them with foil. And that way the water doesn't ruin the box. You know, you could line it with whatever suits you. But these are just a few ways that I do my seed starting. What you need is toilet paper rolls. You could also use paper towel rolls. And I cut them in half. You know, you can take off the paper, save the paper as well, because I came across one roll with a hole in it, and instead of tossing this out, I stuffed it with the excess paper that was on it. You know, I didn't stuff that much, but I put enough to cover the hole. And then what I did to ground it from the soil from leaking out of the bottom, I used the telephone pages. So instead of tossing out the telephone book, you can use the telephone pages for a lot of things, and that's one of them. You just rip out a page. You know, just rip that page out. And you stuff it in the half a roll here, and then you just set it up. Set it up in your box. This is a smaller box, so I set it up here, lined it with foil, lined it all up, and you got your little planters. And the good thing about it is, as soon as the seeds start growing out, you can transplant it directly into the ground, and you'll be recycling all the way through, which I like, instead of wasting and throwing it all away. Also, what I did to help me identify which seeds are in each row, I made a list of the seeds that I started and the type of seeds, as well as the alignment that they are in the box. So this is aligned to the box that you've seen in the beginning of this video, and I put the box actually in my compost because I was wondering for the longest time where would I start my seeds, because now with the two new dogs that dig up my garden, I can't really leave them anywhere out here, and so I can't really take them in the house either because I have cats and they'll be digging it up as well. So I figured it out. I'm gonna just put the whole box in the compost because the dogs don't really go in the compost, and they can't go in there anyway. So far so good. So you use aluminum. Don't forget your scissors. Have a handy pen, a notepad, Sharpie pen, so you can mark the box. What I did was I used a sticky label, and I tagged the box from the first, second, and third, and then I wrote in C notebook. So I have my notebook here for my notes on each seed that I started and when I started it and planted it. Don't forget to water it, because you're going to use the seed starting mix. So you're going to have to water that a little bit more. The seed starting mix is pretty dry. So you just, water that a little bit more than usual, but very little at a time. Instead of pouring it from a garden container, I use a little plastic cup here. So I try to recycle and save as many things as I can. and reuse them in the garden. And in fact, you can also reuse this cup to plant things in. You can poke holes at the very bottom. You can plant either vegetable seed, flowers, whatever you want to plant. And then you fill it up with soil. You can cover it on the top with the cover. And or you can actually flip this cup over, you know, and make a hole, you know, a little hole at the top. And you can cover your plant that's planting in the ground. You're starting your seeds in the ground. You can cover it on the soil and fasten it just tightly. And you can actually watch the seed grow. Or you could also use your water bottles. Instead of tossing them out, these are very useful for starting seeds as well. You know, you can either flip it over or have it this way, you know, and just take off the cap, let the air go through, because you're going to get the heat going from the sun, you know, and it's going to warm the seed and help the seed grow faster. And I like that idea as well. But with my dogs, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that in my garden, not for quite some time. Another idea in starting your seed is ziplocs. You can do this indoors. You know, I've done this before, and I really like this because it's not messy, it's easy to handle. You know, you just wet the paper towel, you put the seeds in, and then you seal up the bag as tightly as possible, you know, leaving no air. You know, and you just let the seeds sit. You just sit for a week or 2 weeks, and then you watch the growth of the sprouts start coming out. So I like doing this as well. This is really efficient for me, and I can take it indoors, and I put it in a shallow box, and I put it above my refrigerator so my cats can't get to it. And also, you could also utilize any plastic containers that you have in your home. You can do the same thing and start your seeds. You know, if you're not using your containers, you know, your old containers, and they're clear, instead of tossing them out, start your seeds this way. It's a really efficient way to start seeds without wasting anything. I've also used egg cartons. You can use egg cartons and then cut them as soon as they start sprouting and transplant them right into the ground. So save those toilet paper rolls because they do come in handy. You don't have to throw them out. And the excess paper on it, you can save that as well, you know, and use them too. And everything is just about recyclable. I just wanted to share with you a few tips on how I start my seeds, and it's really fun, and I enjoy it. And I guess in a couple weeks I will be making another video pertaining to starting my seeds here, and you will see how they are doing. Thank you for watching.